So Elon Musk just created the most valuable private company on Earth, and possibly outside of Earth too, like in the realm of orbit of Earth. SpaceX and xAI are merging. The combined entity is valued at $1.25 trillion. That's a trillion with a T. To put that into perspective, that's larger than the entire GDP of the Netherlands. One man now controls a company worth more than many countries produce in a year. The move combines Musk's rocket empire of SpaceX with his artificial intelligence company into a single corporate structure. I got a lot of thoughts on why this is happening and what it means for the space industry and why the timing really matters more than you might think. And we're going to get back into that after this very short break. Now, let's start with the number. The valuation, because it's genuinely staggering, $1.25 trillion. SpaceX was last valued around $350 billion in late 2024, hit roughly $50 billion after its latest funding round. So that's for xAI. So where does that extra $850 billion come from? Synergy, the corporate term, as we all love it. And I don't use that word lightly because it's usually corporate nonsense BS. But in this case, there's a real argument. SpaceX has Starlink. Starlink has millions of subscribers and a constellation of over 6,000 satellites beaming internet to Earth. xAI needs massive amounts of computing power to train its models, and Musk has been very vocal about the bottleneck being energy and infrastructure for AI compute. Now, here's where it gets really interesting, though. It's an infrastructure company. And then infrastructure, the ground systems, the power systems, the global reach, that's exactly what an AI company needs to scale. So the timing here isn't random, though. We're in the middle of an AI arms race. OpenAI, Google, Anthropic, Meta, they're all pouring billions of dollars into compute infrastructure. Now, the constraint isn't really the algorithms anymore. It's the physical stuff. It's the data centers, the power, the chips. And Musk has been building massive AI supercomputer in Memphis. He's buying up all the NVIDIA GPUs by the tens of thousands, but he's been doing this through xAI as a separate company, separate funding and separate investors. But by merging these companies, he consolidates the capital and one set of investors, just one thing. And critically, one strategic direction. SpaceX's cash flow from Starlink and government contracts can now directly fund xAI's infrastructure build-out. xAI needed the money. No more finding funding. No more shuffling money between entities. No more competing for resources internally. Now, so what does xAI do for SpaceX? That's what I keep coming back to. What are they going to do? How are they going to work together? Autonomous systems is all I could figure out. SpaceX already uses AI for landing rockets. The Falcon 9 boosters that land themselves on drone ships. That's a machine learning problem. The Starship flight computer, same thing. Now imagine the same team with access to xAI's foundational models. You could have AI systems that don't just follow pre-programmed trajectories, but actually reason about unexpected situations. If you have an engine out during ascent or the weather conditions change, AI figures out the optimal response in real time. Super easy, right? Musk just put his rockets and his engineers in the same place as his AI researchers. Everything just changed. Now, what are we thinking about Starlink plus Grok here? Everybody has their opinion on Grok, right? There's another angle that I think people are sleeping on. Grok already integrates with X, the social media platform that Elon owns. But what if it integrates with Starlink? Think about it. Starlink has direct-to-device capability now. Your phone can connect to satellites without any special hardware. And what if every Starlink terminal, every connected device has Grok built in because of this? That's an AI assistant delivered from space. Is that crazy or what? Musk has talked about building an everything app. Of course, that's what he wanted X to be, right? A super app that combines social media, payments, AI, ride hailing, connectivity. The merger gets him one step closer. That's all there is to it. The infrastructure layer is now unified, and eventually maybe they'll get Tesla on board and bring all of his companies, merge all of his companies together. Speaking about coming together, come join us. I've been digging through the analytics of this show. I've noticed that 37% of you are following this channel. And for you, I'm forever grateful. The other 63% of you, you've watched the show before. I've seen the stats. You've watched it. You've listened to it. You've been here before, or maybe you're new. If you're new here and you haven't hit the follow or subscribe button, here's why you should. I've been doing this for about 10 years. I've been an independent journalist covering Elon, tech, space flight, everything AI for the last 10 years, and I'll continue for the next 10. It's easy. All you need is 1 second. Just hit the follow or subscribe button on whatever platform you're on right now, and I'll continue to do this for you. So thank you for that. I'm extremely grateful for you, and I'm blessed to have you in this community. So thank you. Now, let's talk about what this means for everybody else. Amazon has been trying to get Project Kuiper off the ground for years. They've launched some test satellites, but they're way behind Starlink in development. Jeff Bezos also has Blue Origin, which is finally getting competitive with New Glenn. But Blue Origin and Amazon are separate companies, different investors. They have different managers, different staff, different timelines. Now, Musk just showed the vertical integration is superior. You want to win in space, you want to win the race, you need the rockets, satellites, ground systems, the software, and apparently now the AI. And Amazon might need to think hard about whether keeping these companies separate makes sense anymore. Google has invested in SpaceX for years. They're an investor in Starlink, but they're also building their own AI models that compete directly with xAI. Puts them in an awkward position now. Do you keep funding the competitors' infrastructure and the hardware and the software? It's up to them. I see a reason for it, but they know better than us, right? Let's talk about the money. That's what this all comes down to, right? What does this mean for investors? SpaceX has a massive list of backers, Founders Fund, Sequoia, Google, Fidelity, T. Rowe Price. Those are the biggest names in venture capital and assets management. They're all part of SpaceX in some way. xAI has its own investor base. Some overlap, but not completely. A merger means these investor groups are now together. The cap table just got very interesting, but here's the thing. At $1.25 trillion, who can even invest at this level? This isn't just venture capital. You need sovereign wealth funds now, national pension funds. The biggest pools of money on our planet have to go into this thing, which is wild. Saudi Arabia's public investment fund has been looking for ways into the AI space. Abu Dhabi, Singapore, Norway, they're all players who write the checks that are this big. Musk just created an asset that appeals to the very top of that capital pyramid, the very top of the top of the top. All the people, they have all the money. All the governments have the money. Sovereign wealth funds. There you go. So it's going to be interesting how this works out. And I would be lying if I said I wasn't thinking about antitrust here right now. The FTC has been aggressive about tech mergers. They blocked a bunch of deals over the past few years, but it's tricky. SpaceX and xAI aren't direct competitors with anyone in a way that makes traditional antitrust case sense. SpaceX competes with ULA and Blue Origin and Rocket Lab in launch. Starlink competes with traditional telecom. xAI competes with OpenAI and Google in AI. So there's no obvious market where this merger reduces competition. If anything, it creates a more formidable competitor in just multiple markets, not just one place. The sheer size might attract attention from regulators. When one person controls a $1.25 trillion entity with national security implications, rockets that launch spy satellites and AI systems that can be used for who knows what, regulators tend to pay attention to that kind of stuff. I don't think it gets blocked, though. But I wouldn't be surprised if there are conditions attached, maybe data handling requirements for Starlink, maybe restrictions on what AI models can be deployed on government missions, something that gives regulators a way to claim oversight. Now let's talk about what's different. I've studied Elon and his companies for years. We haven't seen anything like this before. He's built single companies. SpaceX, Tesla, X, etc. And they've all been kind of his thing, right? Tesla went public, SpaceX stayed private, X was an acquisition, xAI was a new startup, the Boring Company and Neuralink are basically just kind of side hustles for Elon right now. This is the first time that Elon has combined two of his major companies into a single entity. It suggests he's thinking about his empire differently now. Less like a portfolio of bets, and more like a vertical integrated system. I think he's going to do Tesla in the next year or so. He has to get everybody on board, right? He has to get everybody at Tesla on board to do this, because that would be a huge merger. Merge everything together. SpaceX, Tesla, xAI, X, everything. Put that all together in the mega corp, right? The question is whether this is the first move or the last. And since it's xAI and they use Grok, does X get folded in? Does Tesla somehow connect all this with the robots and Optimus? Musk has always talked about his company's serving like a larger mission. Human survival. He wants to send people to Mars so humanity can continue on forever. But maybe this is him actually building the structure to pursue that. I mean, maybe he's building the machine that will build the machine that'll get us to Mars eventually. Maybe this is him actually doing one company, finally the one vision, how we wanted to, like the X company, $1 trillion to make it happen. They need all the money, right? But there's also things that we don't know. There's a lot that we don't know, actually. What's the governance structure? Who runs the combined company? What happens to the existing executive teams? We don't know the exact deal mechanics. And is this a merger of equals? Is one company acquiring the other? Or are there new shares being issued? Are these people going to be diluted? The SpaceX people or the xAI investors? Nobody knows. And we don't know how employees feel about this. SpaceX has a distinct culture. Move fast. Engineer the hell out of things, launch rockets, get to Mars. Damn it. xAI has been more of kind of like a research lab, building foundational models, competing with OpenAI, intellectually, Grok, etc. Cultures might clash, or they might energize each other. They might realize that they need AI to get them to Mars. So that might be a thing. So Musk now controls a company that's $1.25 trillion. Can launch rockets to Mars eventually and build AI systems that might eventually think better than humans, Optimus. Whether that is exciting or terrifying, that's up to you. It depends on how you feel about Elon and how he could control everything, because he could control the skies at this point, right? If he has AI and Starship working together with Starlink, and Grok on every phone that has Starlink, he's controlling a lot of stuff at that point. But it's a huge scale. It's undeniable. This isn't a startup. SpaceX isn't just that little company in the dirt lot at the at the end of Starbase in Texas anymore. It's an institution. It's mature. For better, for worse, these kind of institutions shape the future. Now, if you've been here this whole time, I want to say thank you for participating and being part of this. So please take a second, hit the subscribe button, leave a comment down below. Let me know what you think about all this stuff. Are you scared? Or, I don't know, are you energized? Are you excited about this? Because there's some part of me that's thinking like, oh, AI? More AI in SpaceX stuff? It might be pretty cool. I don't know. It's a little bit of both. So let me know what you think in the comments. All right. Take care now.